Again and again and again, I say Obama's not really the problem. The problem is the culture that gave power to what Obama represents. This dude has been flat out lying to the American people and lying on Republicans. And his followers don't care if he lies to them, as long as he shows contempt for Republicans to pacify liberal voters. He can keep on lying to them, but at some point, the people may get sick of his lies, but they'll happily continue to embrace those same lies with a new face, as long as that face has contempt for Republicans. Republicans, healthcare isn't the problem. It's the entitlement-minded culture that willingly walked into the spiderweb they're squirming in now, while blaming you for their freedom juice getting slurped out of them by this giant arachnid.
I think what's happening. Propaganda.
We now know for a fact that repealing the Affordable Care Act would increase the deficit, raise premiums for millions of Americans, and take insurance away from millions more.
No. That's exactly what Obamacare did. That's a fact. That's a proven fact. A straight up reality we're living in right now. This dude is seriously politically dyslexic.
As I've said before, I find it strange that the Republican position on this law is still stuck in the same place that it has always been. They still can't bring themselves to admit that the Affordable Care Act is working.
No. You can't admit that it's not working and that you're projecting its negative economic effects on the Republicans.
They said nobody would sign up. They were wrong about that.
Yeah, and you made sure we'd be wrong about that by imposing a fine on people if they didn't sign up.
They said it would be unaffordable for the country. They were wrong about that.
It isn't affordable for the country. That's why you're having to provide financial assistance for people to pay for this so-called Affordable Care Act, which costs even more money because you're forcing others to provide financial assistance for this affordable care that isn't really affordable at all. Ms. Allred, would you mind giving a demonstration of what Obama is doing to the country?
Okay, so then it was like that. It was going like that. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. Okay.
Wait, Gloria, he's not done. He's got another term.
Okay. All right. But of course, he was doing it with his other hand.
They were wrong to keep trying to repeal a law that is working when they have no alternative answer for millions of Americans with pre-existing conditions who'd be denied coverage again.
The reason why Republicans haven't come with a government health care plan is because the government's not supposed to have a health care plan. The government can't force an insurance company to provide service to people with pre-existing conditions. The best way to make insurance companies do that is to let them compete. The free market will demand insurance for pre-existing conditions if you get out of the way. It's simple. Oh, that insurance company doesn't provide insurance for pre-existing conditions? Well, we do. And another insurance company say, hey, we offer insurance for pre-existing conditions too. That company's gonna charge you a lot for it. Check us out. We'll give you a lower rate. It's very basic economics. If you wanna make more money, offer more than your competitor while charging less than your competitor. Why is it okay for the government to have health care that's so unaffordable that they have to force others to pay for financial assistance, but it's not okay for private insurance companies to not have affordable insurance? At least with private insurance, you can shop around. With government coverage, where are you gonna shop? The government's getting the monopoly. They're forcing people out of their plans and boxing them into the government's, and they can set their price. And if someone can't afford it, they either fine them or force others to pick up the slack. But this isn't even really about health insurance. It's about control. When the government controls your health care, they control you. Thanks a lot, liberals. You pretty much invited a vampire into our home. And then you've got this status nut, Melissa Harris Perry.
Yeah, you can't keep your crappy plan. Just deal with that.
I guess at least she's honest about how this was always going to be about you losing the coverage and doctor you like. And she's proud of the fact that you're being deprived of it. She's like a gargoyle for the Obama administration, guarding the so-called integrity of the ACA while mocking you and saying that your health care was crappy. And she's glad the state is taking it from you. Are you proud of me, my liege? Can you feed me another morsel of their freedom for my loyalty? I'm Alfonso Rachel for ZoNation, And I think justice would be served if somewhere off in the future, people who want to know what the Obama administration was like, I just hope they find this.
Okay.
Can you do that again, Gloria? I think the kids really need to see as much of that as possible.
All right.
Now that's progressive. Their freedom juice getting slurped out of them by this giant barachnid.